Hello everyone, my name is Mike. I'm the lead product developer here with Forward Arrow Solutions. And today I want to show you how to get yourself onboarded and set up so that you can start using our software with your data. So let's get started. Now, you're probably here already, but if you're not, head over to fx-fast.com and you'll see our landing page with a demo button here, and let's click this and we'll get taken over to the registration page. Now here on the registration page, if you haven't already, you can go ahead and watch a few different demos about the software. To get started creating your account here on the right, let's go ahead and enter your company name. Let's make up something fun here. We're going to call ourselves Truckmasters, and we'll continue. Let's go ahead and enter your contact information so that we'll be able to reach out and help you if you have any problems here. So let's say Mike, this is my contact info. You guys know I'm with Tread Transportation. Continue. Let's go ahead and put in our company's billing address. Texas. There's my cell phone if you guys need me. And let's go ahead and create a password. Now, the way it stands right now, we don't have different usernames for different members of your team. So let's go ahead and create a password that can be easily shared with the different members of your team here. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see a little bit more. It's going to go ahead and create the account for us now here within a few minutes here. I still feel like you guys are having a hard time seeing everything. Here we go. And we'll give it just a minute to go ahead and create your new company profile. So this is actually going in and building you your own database and creating the account that you need to start in and start looking at your data here. So we'll give it one more second, and then here on this next page, we'll be able to input a little bit more of our company defaults. The first thing it'll have you do is agree to the terms of the trial, and this is basically saying that we're not going to share your data with anybody. The security is set up in such a way that only you and members of your team that you've given that password to will have access to see any of that data within your company here. So let's continue on. And what it's going to let us do now is connect our MyGroundBiz account. This is the portal that you log into to manage your contracting business with FedEx. I recommend using the auto importer, and we can do that just by selecting yes and giving it the username and password for that account. The test connection button will go ahead and make sure that it doesn't have any problems logging in. For the sake of ease for this demo, and for your sake, you're more than welcome to just go ahead and manually import your latest settlement file, which is what I'm going to do now. Once that file has been accepted, our continue button will light up, or once your credentials have been verified for the MyGroundBiz, the continue button will light up and we can move on. The second thing it's going to ask you for is the username and password for your Omnitrax account. So just go ahead and pre-fill whatever your username for Omni and whatever your password for Omni is. Now, if you're not currently using Omnitrax, if you're a Trimble or a PeopleNet subscriber, you can just go ahead and select no on the screen. We're working to get Trimble and PeopleNet support, so if you are using them, please reach out to us and let us know, and we'll kind of show you where we're at with that setup as time goes on. But as it stands right now, Omnitrax has got full integration. So we'll put in our username and password for Omnitrax. We'll hit continue here. And the next thing we're going to do is set up our default pay rates. Now, one of the things our software does is help you manage your payroll, and we can create some default settings in there to make that payroll process easier for you. So the first thing it's going to ask you to enter is what your local pay rate is. A local trip is anything less than 50 miles. So if we're going to give our local drivers, let's say 90 cents a mile, we'll put 90 cents in here. We've got two options for our solo drivers. Let's say we'll pay them 62 cents a mile if they're there in the truck by themselves. Unless that trip is over 200 miles, then let's pay them 58 cents. Our team defaults, it's listed as team pay right here, but this is going to be per driver. So if you pay your teams $1.50 a mile, then you're actually paying each driver 75 cents. So you'll want to put a per driver amount in here. I doubt anybody's paying $1.50. I think somewhere probably around 35 cents, 70 cents a mile for the team, 35 cents each is probably where most of you guys are at. So we can just put in 0.35 here. Now, if you're doing some different spot runs and you want to pay spots as a percentage of revenue rather than as like a mileage thing, we can just go ahead and put in that decimal there. We'll put in 0.15 to give out 15% of the revenue for that trip to the driver. Now, these are just the defaults to apply to each new driver. If you upload a settlement file that has information on a driver that isn't already in your driver database, it's going to go ahead and create a profile for that driver, and it's going to apply these defaults as the pay rate for that driver as the file is going. That way the process doesn't get interrupted. It just goes in with what you're saying the default should be. We've always got the opportunity after the fact to adjust those pay rates and adjust those defaults at a per driver basis as well. But let's go ahead and continue now. And that's all we need as far as setup goes. So when we hit create company profile, it's going to go through, let our servers know on the back end that you're signing up. It's going to let us know, let your database know what those defaults you want to be, and then it's going to go ahead and it's going to do a payroll run. It's going to process that settlement file that you uploaded based on those pay defaults. So for security purposes here, we're back here at the login screen so that you can go ahead and get a fresh login token to access your data. So let's go ahead and use the username and password that we just created here a second ago. That was Mike at Tread Transportation, and I think I made the password just password. And we should be able to log in here now. You'll notice that login button, it gave us a spinner, but we didn't like jump over right away. There's another progress bar type thing up here at the top of the screen. It's a little bit harder to see because of the purple on purple. So have some patience with that login button, especially the first time that you've logged in. There's a lot of work that's going on behind the scenes to build up this profile for you here. Now, once that payroll information has been loaded, you can actually click here on payroll tools and you'll see that file that we just uploaded. We're not going to touch it just yet though. The first thing we'll want to do is actually load in some information about our different dispatch locations. So let's come over here to our domiciles and let's put in our dispatch locations that we're going to be coming out of. Now, I recommend a standard 5-digit numerical domicile ID. Keep everything the same way FedEx is using it. That way, when the tool is creating your documents for you, it'll be correctly labeled with FedEx's IDs. So Houston is one that we run out of a lot, Cypress. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in that one here. This is our, I think they call it Houston, not Cypress here. And our label is going to be, now I'm creating the label exactly how I want it to appear on all of the forms using FedEx's normal 5-digit /name, just so that all of the forms we're submitting look proper. We can put in some more information about the domicile as we get it here. Another important thing that you'll want to make sure we do is make it active, but also come in here and go ahead and tell me who I need to send the IVMR to for that location. And as you prepare your settlement adjustments, who do I need to send those adjustments to? You can put in as many email addresses as you like here. Just put in their email and separate it with a comma. Second email, and then you can put it as many different emails as you want inside here so that the system knows where to send those communications out to. If you'd like, you can also go ahead and designate a manager for the location and your headcount targets. These are just all indicators to kind of help you as you go. So let's go ahead and save what we've got here. I'm just going to do the bare minimum. We've got one more location. It's going to be Hutchins or Dallas. So 7753, and this is Dallas. And I'm going to do the same thing with our 5-digit slash. That way when I'm filling out my MMRs and all that, I don't have to worry about that label being wrong, or FedEx kicking it back because it's not labeled how they want it to be labeled. Once I've got some domiciles in here, let's go ahead and go over to our drivers tab here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create me a list of all of the drivers that haven't been assigned to a location yet. Now, this is the first file that I've imported, so there's going to be a lot of drivers that don't have a location because this is the first time we've done anything with those drivers here. So now I can click on this list here, and we're quite a large organization. I've got 50 drivers here that need to be assigned. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to put them where they need to be. I'm going to go ahead and designate who my managers are, who my drivers are, who some different administrators are. I can go ahead and upload, go ahead and start putting in their contact information. If you want to do this in bulk, there is an option to do it in bulk from the driver page here, this little menu button here. What I would recommend that you do is export all of your drivers. So this is going, I don't know if it'll pop up here on the screen because of my screen share here. But what you're going to do is download a list of all of your drivers, and that's going to go ahead and give you a template to work off of. You can copy and paste information into that file, and basically load everything into that Excel file, and then come back over here and hit this import button, import that file that you had just saved, and that'll go ahead and update everybody's location and contact information for you all at once. So however you want to do it, if you've got a lot of names on the list, I would recommend using this process right here. If you don't have that many names on the list, 10, 15, then I would recommend just using one of these lists, and then it's very simple to just click on a name, update the information, save it, mark them off the list, and work your way down there. So couple of steps to get the default set up. This is assigning a location is optional, but if you want to get the most out of the organizational tools for the software, then I would recommend take the extra couple of steps to get everybody's locations properly assigned and go ahead and get their contact information in there, because being able to communicate with the drivers is one of the benefits of the software here. So we'll go through, we'll get all of our employees mapped to locations. We can start uploading some of their documents as well. And then we can take a look at our tractors and we'll see the same thing. So this is this particular account right here, the Omnitracs integration isn't set up yet, so we haven't got any GPS data to pull in yet. But as you can see, we do have the settlement data that we just processed that file for. And we can see, our fuel cost from that settlement and our revenue from that settlement. Now, over here on the left, we can assign the tractor to a location the same way that we assigned people to the location as well. So we can say that this is a Houston tractor. We can say that it's a 2022 Volvo. And this is optional here as well, but this is going to help you get more out of that maintenance piece as well. You'll need a VIN number for each one of your vehicles in order to properly process maintenance records for them. Now, just like we did with the drivers, we can use Excel to make this easier as well. We can just go ahead and upload a file that has that information on it and update all of those tractors in bulk. Once our tractors have a VIN number and a domicile, you can start using the maintenance functionality, uploading maintenance records and different things like that. We can come over here and just go ahead and start logging maintenance issues or maintenance records for that tractor. It's just important that that tractor has a location assigned. It has a VIN number assigned, because both of those are required in order to do your MMRs, because we need to know what domicile to send that MMR to, and we need to know the VIN for that tractor in order to properly stamp those maintenance records. Once we've kind of played around with those defaults and we've assigned locations and we have basically set those pay defaults, we can start processing payroll now. You can revisit information about those defaults here from your company profile. So if I click on my Truck Masters here, I've got all the information that we put in there on the sign up screen. Let's make sure, well, I think during the demo here, we opted not to sync our MyGround Business account. but this is something I recommend you leave on and active. Now, a lot of our competitors like to brag about how they'll use their robots and such to go in and automatically change your password for you if it's expired. From a security standpoint and from reading the terms of FedEx's contract, that's not something we felt comfortable doing. I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm the only one who has access to your contractor portal. So I'm going to leave it on you to make sure that I can access the portal. You still have full ownership of it. So if you'd like for me to get those, if your database to sync those files for you, please make sure you've got the most current password loaded into your account here. And if you'd like, I can set up reminders to go out to you to keep that password updated. But I definitely want you owning that and not us, again, from a security standpoint, and to just stay in compliance with the rules set forth by FedEx. You're the owner of that account, not me, so I need you to give me the information so that I can access it and pull that information for you. If that sounds like a bother, I do apologize, but I want to make sure that we're following FedEx's compliance rules to the letter so that we can continue to provide this awesome service to you. We can revisit our pay defaults, but let me show you how to update those defaults for an employee now. If we go back and look at here at our driver tab, we can select one of our employees here. Now we've got, when it pulls the driver in from the FedEx statement, FedEx has a first name and a last name for that employee. It's not always the name or the call sign that your employees want to go by. This display name field is designed to basically, however you want that name to appear in the system, you can use this display name field, and that way when you're emailing them or when they're opening up their reports from the system, instead of seeing this full legal name, you can use their call sign or that display name here to make them easier to find and identify in the system. This email button will it'll open up a new Outlook email with a link to the driver's schedule. I don't think you'll see it here because of the way my screen's sharing, but let me go ahead and open up their schedule here for you. Let's come back over here while that loads up for me. Here we go. So, and let's go ahead and schedule this driver for something. So let's say tomorrow Molly needs to do the OKC run in 153727. So I'm just going to put really just enough information for me to know what's going on and for them to know what's going on. You don't have to make this too complicated. There we go. Just hitting enter on my keyboard is going to save it. On Friday, they're actually going to be turning from Tulsa back, and they're going to be at 153727. She's going to be off here on Friday. Okay, so just click the plus sign, type something, and it's going to show up on her driver schedule. When she views that schedule here, I think it refreshes every 10 minutes or so. Let me make sure that we can see it. We'll give it a couple of seconds to update here. Yeah, so now, we'll pretend we're Molly here. We're looking at our schedule. We can see the last time that it was updated. Again, this view can take, sometimes 10 minutes to update, for the drivers that are on their side. But this is a simple way for the drivers to see their schedule now. Now, if the driver wants to go ahead and request some time off, let's go ahead and I'm going to request some PTO on this day, and then I want to use PTO on this day, but then I realize I'm out of PTO, but I still need this day off. Let's do some unpaid PTO. So I've submitted those time off requests. We can see that we've kind of got the update for it here, and it's kind of filled itself in here. And if the request hasn't been approved or denied yet, I can still click on it, and when I click on it, it'll delete it, and I can say no, I don't want to request that one anymore. Now, this is how the driver will communicate, what their schedule needs are. If I come back over here to our admin dashboard, you can see I've already got those PTO requests up here on my screen now. And I can work with them and I can approve them. This one has dropped off because we canceled that one, but let's go ahead and approve this request. And let's go ahead and approve this request. And it can take some time to update here on the driver's side, but within the next 10 minutes or so, when the driver looks at their schedule again, they'll see those PTO requests have gone from orange to purple to show, or to green to show that they're, they're scheduled. And once it's been scheduled, the driver doesn't have the opportunity to change it at that point. They're just viewing it. So yeah, we can see we're locked on the schedule here for these days now. And I can continue to request other days and continue to view my schedule here. So that's kind of scheduling there in a nutshell. Kind of a smaller feature, but the more if you're using it, it can make your payroll process a little more organized as well. If I go and I look at the payroll run, let's view here, and that was Molly that we were working on. If I look at her pay, now, I can come in and I can see that those schedules that we just made here. Oh, it looks like this is the prior week. We were scheduling this week. So, but yeah, the more information we put in here on the schedule, the easier it's going to be to calculate things like per diem and such here from this view. Now, we've got a whole separate video on how to go in and process payroll itself. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there, but I want to show you a couple of more buttons over here. Most important one is the help desk. So if this help desk button will launch open our separate support site. If you have a pop-up blocker enabled, you might get a message that you can't view it. So disable a pop-up blocker if it's on there. And then from this knowledge base, you'll be able to find additional supports and additional videos just like this one on how to handle any type of workflow within the system. If you're having questions or problems, you can use this button here to open up a ticket and talk directly to me about that problem, and we'll help you sort it out and get it resolved here. If you're seeing this yellow bar up here, confirm your email address to make sure that you're getting the messages as they go through, and then this Pro Tools link just takes you back out to your dashboard. From here, you'll also be able to see invoices that have been created for you from Forward Arrow. You'll have the ability to update your different payment methods and make sure you can view tickets that you have open. If you requested an OmniTrack integration, then a ticket has already been opened for you to get that OmniTrack set up. And then I've also gone ahead and just opened up a new user ticket for you to reply to if you've got any questions about during the setup and things like that. So that's kind of a quick overview of how to get yourself onboarded. And now you can see it's only been 15 minutes and you're already in using your data. If you've turned on that the sync with FedEx, then it will start to pull in historical information for you. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab the last 12 weeks of data for you so that you've got kind of a ramp of historical data to look at. And I know all of your tractors have been loaded in and all of your drivers have been loaded in. That can take 24 hours from setup before you see that historical data populated inside of your account. But yeah, you're set and you're ready to go. And I hope you're excited about this new set of tools to manage your business with. If you have any questions, reach out to your support representative. If you don't have one yet, I'd love to be your support representative. You can email me directly by opening up a ticket the way I just showed you, or just email support@helpdesk.fx-fast.com. That's support@helpdesk.fx-fast.com. And that'll open up a ticket, directly with me, and I can help you look through any of the problems that you're having or work on some new features to make sure that you've got everything you need to manage your business well. So thank you for your time. I'm hoping you're already onboarded and using the tool. I'm excited to work with you. Let me know what questions you have. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.